He believed his wife had died on a business trip. There was no body to bury, no final goodbye, only official words telling him she was gone. For 5 long years, Mark Reynolds lived with grief, unanswered questions, and a quiet pain that never fully healed. He mourned a woman he loved, accepted a loss he could not change, and slowly rebuilt a life shattered by tragedy. But everything he believed collapsed the moment he saw her face again. Alive, smiling, and married to another man. Mark was an ordinary American with a stable career and a simple life. He met Lisa in his early 30s, and from the beginning, she stood out as intelligent, ambitious, and independent. Lisa worked in international consulting, a job that required frequent travel and confidentiality. She often spoke about sensitive contracts and overseas assignments that couldn't be discussed in detail. Mark trusted her completely. In his mind, secrecy was part of her profession, not a warning sign. Their marriage appeared strong to everyone around them, built on trust and routine, with no visible cracks. In 2018, Lisa told Mark she had received a long-term overseas assignment in Southeast Asia. She explained that communication would be limited and warned him not to worry if days passed without contact. At first, the silence felt normal. Then days turned into weeks. Messages went unanswered. Emails bounced back. Her phone number stopped working. When Mark contacted the company she claimed to work for, they denied any record of her assignment. Fear turned into panic as he reached out to authorities and the U.S. Embassy, desperately searching for answers. Months later, Mark received devastating news. Officials told him Lisa was presumed dead, likely the victim of an unconfirmed transportation accident involving foreign contractors. There were no remains, no physical proof, only circumstantial evidence and legal paperwork declaring her deceased. Mark was crushed, his wife was gone, and there was nothing he could do but accept it. The funeral was haunting. An empty casket sat at the front of the room. Photographs replaced memories. Friends offered condolences, but none of it brought closure. Mark struggled with guilt, replaying every conversation, wondering if he should have asked more questions or followed her overseas. Therapy helped him survive, but the pain never truly disappeared. Over time, he learned to live with loss, believing that some questions would never be answered. 5 years passed. Life moved forward, slowly and quietly. Lisa became a painful chapter Mark tried not to revisit. Then one evening, everything changed. While scrolling through social media, Mark stopped cold. A wedding photo posted by a distant acquaintance caught his eye. In the background stood a woman who looked exactly like Lisa. Same smile, same posture, same unmistakable scar above her eyebrow. She was dressed elegantly, wearing a wedding ring, standing beside another man. At first, Mark told himself it was impossible. Doppelgangers exist, but then he noticed a small birthmark on her neck, something only he knew. His hands began to shake. His wife wasn't dead. She wasn't missing. She was alive, living a new life, married to someone else. Desperate for the truth, Mark hired a private investigator. What they uncovered was more disturbing than he could have imagined. Lisa had planned her disappearance for years. She had quietly opened offshore bank accounts, created false employment records, and obtained a second identity using forged documents. The business trip was never real. It was her exit strategy. Investigators discovered she had been involved in an international relationship long before leaving the United States. Her new husband believed she was a widow, escaping a painful past. Lisa didn't just leave Mark, she erased him. Experts later explained that faking one's death, while rare, is not impossible. Lisa's motive wasn't violence or revenge, it was control. By disappearing instead of divorcing, she avoided legal battles, financial exposure, and confrontation. To the law, she was dead. To her new life, she was reborn. When Mark attempted to pursue legal action, he entered a nightmare. Lisa denied wrongdoing. Her lawyers argued that no physical death had ever been confirmed and that she had the right to relocate and start over. International laws made prosecution nearly impossible. Without clear evidence of financial fraud or criminal intent, authorities could do little. Justice never came. Mark described the experience as grieving the same person twice, once for her death and again for her betrayal. The emotional damage was permanent. Trust became difficult. Closure never arrived. Today, Mark shares his story as a warning to others, reminding people that when one partner controls all the information, they control the truth. This story is not just about a shocking love scam. It's a reminder of how easily trust can be exploited, how secrecy can hide manipulation, and how identity can be erased in a globalized world. Sometimes, the most dangerous deceptions don't come from strangers online. They come from the person who knows your habits, your fears, and your heart. If someone disappears without answers, if a story never fully adds up, and if closure feels forced instead of real, ask questions. Because some people don't vanish by accident, they leave on purpose.